I managed to find the England team sheet in the back office. It hadn't been handed to me. Apologies for that. But we've got all the sheets now. On tables 6 and 7, England seniors, Northern Ireland seniors. This is the team semi-final. Tables 6 and 7, England seniors, Northern Ireland seniors. On tables 8 and 9, Malta seniors, India seniors. Malta seniors, India seniors, tables 8 and 9. Can I remind you to please come to the top table after every 5 sessions with an update of the scores and who's played and any subs, as they happen.
You won't sell in key rings. She goes, sorry, at the time, he goes, yes,
Is there any reason why we're not starting the team matches? We waiting for anybody?
under-23 singles final, also best out of 15. Starting off with the junior singles final, the referee, please welcome George Bradbury. And the contestants for this category, junior singles final, from England, please give it up for Luke Gilbert. And his opponent from Northern Ireland, please welcome Carol Gauka. And for the under-23 singles final, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for referee John Chapman. The contestants from Ireland, Kerr. His opponent from England, please welcome Jack Smithers. Referees, please start the games.
First frame, Jack Smithers to break. Time running.
Frame 1, Luke to break. Time running.
All spotted.
All parties. Rebels in play.
Yellow ball's nominated. 30 seconds. Yellow ball's in play.
still potting off the break after potting 2 reds. Started to go yellows, and he's already potted 4 of those. Now his opponent, Kerr, is the World Junior Champion of 2017, so he's done really well to go straight into under 23 ranks and be here in the final. Now this match is best of 15, so it's going to be whoever reaches 8 frames first. So this yellow goes obviously in the middle. It's played that very nicely, come out perfectly for his last yellow. So with that yellow, he'll be able to just pot that. He'll come off at an angle, go off a couple of cushions, and finish about the middle of the table to take that final black. Nice steady bridge, and just caught a red, so he didn't quite finish in the middle, but still should be quite comfortable to pot that black. Now you can see that the colours have come up on our screen. You see how Jack Smithers has got the yellow colour on the left, and Kerr the red, which indicates the bronze denomination. Of course, for Kerr didn't really matter that match, because Jack Smithers, who went to the table to break, did not leave the table and managed to chalk up the first frame to be 1-0 up in this World Championship Under 23s final here at the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, England. As these World Championships come to a close today, it's been a brilliant championship. They started Wednesday of last week, where this year we did a new format. We had the men's singles starting off last week, all the qualifiers and the singles. We got that event, that part of the event, to a fairly advanced stage, and then of course on the weekend all the teams arrived. We had opening ceremony, and this week we've had all the countries play off in their respective categories. Under 23s, wheelchair, juniors, those events also took place, and here we are on the last day with the junior singles final, the under 23s final, a men's team final, and then the premier events, the ladies individual and the men's individual finals at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So the referee is John Chapman. He's having a good look at the balls as he racks them to make sure they're all touching. Looks like they're all perfectly in place. So here we go. Kerr looks like he breaks from the extreme right. Probably, I suspect he might have hit the second ball in. Some players prefer to do that. I think you tend to have less control of the white by doing that, I've been told. But at the moment, unfortunately, that looks like a dry break. So it means his opponent, Jack Smithers, is going to be back at the table, and of course he's been busy at the table in the first frame because he broke and didn't leave it. And here he is after one shot from Cormac from the break. He's back there. He's going to try and do it all over again. That's the way this game is sometimes. So he's missed that pot into the middle. So Kerr will get an opportunity here. There's a yellow ball over the pocket, his bottom right hand pocket, if he wants to take it. Reds is a very fine cut into the middle, which is probably doesn't appeal to him. There's a yellow there that sneaks into the middle, which is not easy either, so he's going to take the easier pot to start his break. We'll see what can develop. So he's just taking his white to the left of that pot, just move it up the table. He's on yellows now, So it looks like there's a yellow there close to the red. Where you've got that red and yellow inside of it, just to the left on the table at the bottom end. It looks like that yellow will go into the middle. And he's decided to play the yellow on the opposite side and play it back, to double it back to this bottom right hand pocket as we see the screen. So Jack Smithers on the red balls. He's surveying the table, putting in place a plan. Normally these players, when they look at the plan of the table, they'll try and work out each shot to pot out if the pot out is there, or otherwise they'll work out their 2 or 3 shots in advance and try and establish where they're going to finish. I'm speaking pretty loud. I can shout. So it's Jack Smith is still at the table. I was saying that these players, when they approach the table, they'll look at the plan and they'll work out if they think there's a pot out on for all the balls, they'll try and plan it out. So that initial approach will take a little bit longer, but then some players, normally if they've got a good plan and everything's going according to Hoy, you'll see them pick up their game and they run through their clearances of the balls. And of course, when something goes wrong, it's back to the drawing board and it's plan B. So watching Jack Smithers here, he's in the middle of potting a few balls. He's going to run this ball into the bottom right hand pocket. So that didn't go, but it's a good result. He's managed to cover that pocket. So Kerr's got to consider whether he's not keen on that situation, because with that pocket covered he's got a yellow that doesn't go there, so he may consider a deliberate foul, or he gives his opponent 2 shots, but you only do that when you don't think your opponent is going to be able to clear the balls with 2 shots, which at this level, more often than not, with 2 shots players can find a way to pot out. So Kerr, he's junior champion of 2017, gone into the under 23 rank, and straight away he's into the final of the under 23. So no doubt he's already a star, but he's going to get better and better, and I'm sure expect his achievements will be many in the future. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of him in the future if he keeps on with his pool career. So this is Jack Smithers of England at the table now. That wasn't a very good shot. So something went wrong there with his cueing. But of course he's got 2. So this is a best of 15 frames. First player to 8. So he just kept promoting that red ball to an open area of the table, and of course you can see where that white's finished. It's a good result for him. It's a good defensive result, because his opponent that's coming in is having to bridge over the top of the ball, which is a bit more difficult, adds a degree of difficulty to the shot. So he hasn't tried to do anything fancy, he's just played a that ball off the cushion. So this frame not quite the same as the first. The first one we saw a free flowing potting going from Jack Smithers. He managed to put out from the break, whereas this one here there's a lot of jostling for position, trying to get balls into a clearance position. So Kerr has chosen to play this yellow over the pocket, but simply just make sure that it covers the pocket so there's no balls that can come along and either dislodge it away from the pocket or to be able to go past it and pop past it. So under 23s, I believe now, has probably been with the World Championships for about 10 years. From memory, it's the last event that we took on board because we saw the need for players that just come out of junior ranks, the elite players we're talking about that just come out of junior ranks, not quite good enough to make the more senior teams. So hence there still it enables them to still play at an elite level at these World Championships in the under 23 age group. So between that under 18s and under 23 age group, and the event is quite popular. So you saw that what occurred there. It was Cormac going for a pot in this bottom left hand pocket, didn't come off, and he also had in his plan to break those balls that were on the rail, which he did nicely. But it's also opened it up for his opponent. And he's probably fortunate that that red and yellow are really close on this cushion on the left. So what that means is that there we go. It gives him a little bit of assurance that he'd feel that the incoming player is not going to clear at this stage. But he's having a good look at that red, because it does, if you get the right position, it does run down to this bottom left hand pocket. So Jack Smithers might play this with his white. Play a certain spin for his. Actually, he's tried more than that. He's spun the white in a way to try and break those two after he come off the cushion. So by putting work on the white, you can obviously control how it deflects off a cushion after you've potted your ball, or even directly if you're hitting a cushion direct. Put right hand side spin on the white and it'll go to the right. So there's so many different spots on the white where you can cue different parts, and you get a different reaction. So he's just tried to squeeze that red to try and put it over the middle pocket so it would be pottable. Unfortunately, he didn't quite succeed there. But if nothing else, it's probably brought the yellow away from it, so it means that now it will run down to the bottom left hand pocket. Kerr here at the table. So all these balls John Chapman. Look off the mark to pull out the triangle. There's a little slot for the triangle to fit into, where it's housed in between frames. Pulls a cloth over so that we don't put the dents into the green cloth when you're actually setting up the balls. So viewers, wherever you're watching around the world, it's great to have you with us. It's my pleasure to bring it to you. It's Joe Fanto, President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation. For those of you that didn't recognise my voice, some of you I'm sure do now, but it's my pleasure to bring this commentary to you. So it's going to be Jack Smithers of England to break. Let's see how he goes. He's very close to the middle where he's breaking from. So he hits the head ball. The red ball has been potted. All the yellows are still up, so in fact it looks like more than one red has been potted. I suspect there's two that are being potted. There's only 5 reds on the table. So I saw one go in this bottom left hand pocket, but I didn't see where the other one went. I'm sure some of you might have seen it at home. So Jack Smithers, very talented young plays his under 23s. Of course, as I mentioned, Kerr, junior world champion in 2017, come into under 23 ranks and straight into the final. It's a lovely pot by Jack Smithers. He's left a bit of an acute cut there on that red top left hand of the table. So he might decide to run this red down to the bottom right hand corner. So he does that nicely, and he's got this red near the black which goes into the bottom left hand corner. And he's also looking to see where to leave the white so that he can play that red nearest the yellow at this end of the table, because that red, if he leaves it right, should go into the middle pocket. Yeah, so he's played that nicely. He's actually moved across, just a bit of stun on the white, and slid across, and the spots on the white actually give an indication of what sort of spin has been put on the ball. And of course, once it hits the object ball, you want to start spin as well. So that's turned out very nicely. So this is off the break, of course. Yeah, good break, potted 2 reds off the break. So now he's potted another 4, he's onto the last red. So I guess the trick here is to make sure I suspect he's just going to stun this white so he doesn't get into any traffic at all, doesn't run any risk of hitting any other balls and not being able to get close to the black. So he'll be happy with stunning onto that side cushion. Doesn't need to negotiate going past any of those yellows. And you can see what a nice straight pot he's left himself to the bottom right hand pocket here. So there's Jack Smithers. He's managed to break and pot out again. So Jack Smithers leads this match 2 frames to 1 against Kerr from Ireland. His 2018 World Championships under 23s individual final. So the referee's just going to go off. The players need a short break. He's back now. So this is referee John Chapman. protocol as to how you behave. There's, in fact, it goes so far as there's a referee guidance here in England, which covers every small aspect of referee behaviour and how you do things. See, John likes to put his timer on the side of the table. He rates the balls and then collects everything, brings them right to the incoming player. That's Kerr from Ireland now to break. So far he's watched his opponent go to the table twice off the break and pot out, and yet he's got a dry break again, meaning he hasn't potted a ball off the break. So John Smithers of England comes in with the opportunity, but this time he didn't pot the ball off the break, but the balls haven't also all broken cleanly either, so it's a little bit congested there on the left of table, which at least it's not conducive to his opponent coming in and cleaning the table. So still in the early stages of this World Championship final, these two young players playing for a world crown to win the title of world champions. Kerr can do here. So that's probably one of the hardest. Good look at that after I missed that pot. So Jack's just nudged that yellow across to the pocket, trying to leave it over the pocket. Jack Smithers at the table at the moment from England. It's opponent Kerr. So will Jack take this ball? So he tried to bring that yellow back. I think he actually tried to maybe get inside these two balls on that are close to this bottom right hand pocket. He's got two shots because his opponent cleared this bottom left pocket of the line that was covering it. So he's going to take him into the middle now. He does. Is he going to take this on and try and slide down to nudge this red away from the yellow? It's a big ask. And in fact, I don't think he's even at the angle. He may just touch that yellow down the end and just cover the pocket a little bit better. Let's see. He's tried to cover the pocket. He's tried to cover that top left hand pocket because his opponent's got a red that's potable there, and by doing that trying to delay his opponent has still got this red which is tied up over this yellow, so but the idea of just increasing the degree of difficulty for his opponent to pot the balls, because his opponent's got he's got four reds that are very potable. Comic Ray will try and cut this stray red in the middle of the table to this bottom right hand pocket. We'll try and take command of it. At the moment he's looking at that red on the rail to run it down and play the plant. No, he's not worried about playing the plant there either. Just promoting it off a cushion. And leave a snooker, of course, and that spot there sort of sneakers in on the yellow, which is so you can see the yellow top left hand corner of the table, which is snookered by the black. So he's just going to off the cushion and try and hit that yellow, and of course probably try and nudge it towards the pocket. So it looks like he's hit that without any problem. So this frame has kind of slowed the momentum of this match. We've had two breaking dishes by Jack Smithers, and two dry breaks by Kerr. In fact, this last dry break, the ball's quite clustered, which has resulted in to and froing in this frame. But as you saw there, Kerr's been able to just lodge those two balls that were all tied up near this pocket. Which has been prevented from potted in the bottom right hand pocket, but so Jack's on yellow, so I would expect that he's going to go for it here, definitely. But he's come back too far. I think he would have liked to have finished to leave himself an angle to pot that yellow in his bottom right hand pocket. Unfortunately, come back too far now. He may have no choice but just to try and hit that yellow as fine as possible and just bring it close to this pocket. telegraph that get confused sometimes, but we get there. So this is Kerr, who's got 2 shots on his match because he's just been delivered foul. So as a player's just gambling that he's not going to play up because of the 2 balls which are just where his own at the moment at that random. So there's get that off when the buddy gives delivered foul. Trying to take advantage and upset the really can't play up, but Kerr is probably doing enough here that he should be able to play these last 3 rounds. So I'll be running that one off with the cushion, so it's not playing balls but right in the pocket. Kerr getting up in some runs right as the first to probably put this the last round of the battle left in the pocket. He's going to take this round the bottom right. Possibly I might be going to get fouled, but I should be fouled. He's coming up here, so particularly Kerr again. World Junior Champion last year, 2017. Going to U23 in Australia next to final. So he's up to some time there. About 12. He's left himself on the break. And this is he's at the table now because of a deliberate foul from Jack Smithers. I'm sure he's going to turn up on that. So Kerr, he's had to graft his range, but he's still all level at 2-0 with Jack Smithers in England in this under 23s individual final of the 2011 World Championships coming to you from the Grand Hotel in the Brent Court. So the referee John Chapman at the table again to re-elect the balls for the next frame. Some technical difficulties with the sound, so if I go off, I'll just be honest, please. We'll get that as quick as possible. And of course, you can still get a nice clear picture. This is a Wepf live stream with the picture produced by Heritage with the assistance of still around. So John Chapman there. Because not being like it was clear. It's not clear yet, but I'm sure it was. Those balls glazed back on there. They seem to have taken on the forward and German good foul for all the years. Fact is, so it's well set there. That's the table blood off so that when they're taking the train they can feel for it and try and make sure it doesn't slip over the wheels and break the balls again. So I'm just going to take a break now from sound and we'll try and fix this slight technical issue.
seconds.
Shouldn't have gone away for you. Still a lovely clear picture. Coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool. These are the 2018 World Championships Under 23 individual final between Jack Smithers and Cormac Kerr. Jack, of course, from England, and Cormac from Ireland. Cormac is the junior champion of 2017 and straight into the final of the Under 23s. So it looks like Jack this time is on the red balls, and he's only got it's a nice so you saw how he potted that ball and went into that yellow to clear it, so his two reds would be pottable. So that means that he should be able to pot out from here. At least it's not I wouldn't say it's the easiest of pot outs, but all three of these reds are definitely pottable if he can get the right positions, and also the black. Even the black, it is restricted as to where it goes, but the way Jack's been playing when he's been presented with clearances, and looks like I put the mockers on him, unfortunately. Commentator mockers. He's missed that ball to the right pocket, bottom right hand pocket. So it's Cormac Kerr. Let's see what he can do. So all these yellows are potable as well, if you can find the right positions. I don't normally prompt exactly where I think he's going to pot out, because I figure these players, and a lot of times there's various ways, and it's a player's choice. Furthermore, there are some times when I wouldn't be able to tell you because I'm not quite as good as these guys, but I can see that they're all out in the open. They can normally find a way when they're in this position. So you can see that we've got a plant on here on the yellow into the middle. Both these balls I expect will pot in that bottom right hand pocket. Both these two yellows. So probably take so that yellow, which is on the close to the black spot, in first, and he's going to come round, and now he's got the choice of either the yellow in the same pocket, which he may do now that he's got a nice straight shot on it. But even if he takes the yellow in the middle, it's going to be very easy to sort of keep his position there and still have a very similar shot to what he had before on this yellow into the bottom right hand pocket. And the position is quite good, where he can just stun back and the black will be into the opposite pocket. There we are. So far going according to plan. And the black bottom left hand pocket, and Cormac Kerr wins a fourth frame, and he now manages to take a 4-2 lead in this final against Jack Smithers. So yeah, even I was able to work out that pot out. That's a rarity. But Cormac Kerr well placed in this final. Jack is the two frames that Jack Smithers has won. It's interesting because he's won them both off the break. So this match is best of 15 frames, which is a race to 8. So it's John Chapman setting up the balls there. So this under 23 event, I believe, has been around for about 10 years and been very well received, particularly by teams here in the UK. Because you have an abundance of juniors and players that are knocking on the door to an England side or your national sides, but not quite at that level yet, and it gives them the opportunity to sort of keep playing at this elite level. And so this is Cormac Kerr with the break. So the little white spotted ball needs to be changed to the other side. So do we have we have yellows. There's a yellow missing, so there's yellow ball potted. So it's still Cormac Kerr. You see that the yellow, the little white spotted ball has changed sides to Cormac Kerr because he's the one that just broke. So Cormac's leading 3 frames to 2. He's had to graft his wins, but it doesn't matter how you do it in this game, and that's the beauty of it, that Jack Smithers won his 2 frames in spectacular fashion with 2 dishes off the break, but Cormac's been able to hang in there and muster up 3 frames now, and he'll probably go from strength to strength as the game goes on. If so he's got those 2 yellows over the pocket, and he'd probably be feeling good about the possibility of potting out here. So he's now looking at this yellow which comes to the bottom left hand pocket. Just a little stretch there, I think. It's so he's going to run that yellow to this bottom left hand pocket, and nicely comes across for the yellow into the bottom right hand pocket. So you just need to, question of, he'll probably want to force it somewhat to I would be trying to possibly screw back to the middle of the table so that when he pots the yellow, you're able to hold the white for that easy black to the top left. But yeah, he's sort of playing down into the shot, and he's played, slid across, played that very nicely. So he's managed to achieve that end where he'll just now drop this yellow slowly, even the opportunity to get a little bit closer to that black. And now Kerr takes a 4-2 lead in this match against Jack Smithers. So he's managed to get a 2-frame jump, and Jack will have the break, and I'm sure he'll be trying to repeat what he did in the 2 frames that he won, where he managed to break and dish. So very interesting. The 2017 Junior World Champion Kerr, a good advantage at this stage of the match. It's probably as far as the number of frames that he's got to win, he's at the halfway stage, because it's the best of 15, a race to 8, and he's won 4. But I'm sure Jack Smithers will have something to say about that, and so he's got a good break, and he's going to come out firing. So John Chapman, the referee, nearly got these balls ready for this frame to get underway. You can see Jack Smithers all ready and waiting, anxious to try and correct this score. I'm sure he's not too perturbed yet. He would be feeling confident that that he can peg the score back to level playing terms. So he's breaking close to the middle, just off centre. Hits the head ball, and the white nearly goes in, but no result with the balls this time. So no pot off the break for Jack Smithers. It's a dry break. The white is in awkward position for incoming player, but that red at the left hand, near the left hand cushion, is very potable, and I'd say reds would be good if he can pot that ball. That's a nice shot by Kerr, the incoming player, and he's got an opportunity here to really bring home the advantage, because he can take that red into the top left hand pocket and stun out, take these 2 balls over the respective middle pockets, these 2 in the middle of the table, and then you can see that there's 3 balls just hovering around this bottom right waiting to be potted. So he's been presented with quite a good possible out here, and so far all going according to prediction. shouldn't be too much trouble negotiating bridge over these balls for the red into the middle. And now for the 3 balls that are sitting around that bottom right hand pocket. He's going to take the one in the middle first, and now of course he'll take this one on the right rail, and he's got a nice angle for his white to just come off the cushion and make the other ball very potable. Referee getting down to make sure his clothes are not touching the balls on the table. So you see how he's done that. He's given himself plenty of made that pot much easier, and he's also still got an angle to come back and get onto the black, which is at this bottom end of the table. Fortunately, the referees had our vision. He's done that beautifully. Perfect pace to leave him nearly straight on that black into the bottom left. And Kerr certainly makes the most of his opportunity. He takes a 5-2 lead in this under-23 final against Jack Smithers of England. So these are the 2018 World Championships, coming to you from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool, England. We've been here since Wednesday. The men's qualifiers and men's singles events were all played last week. Got to a really advanced stage by Saturday, and then of course all the teams arrived, and opening ceremony on the Sunday afternoon. And since then, it's just been a feast of pool. All the teams have been playing team events in their respective men's, ladies, under 23s, juniors, and of course the wheelchair event has been played as well. So this week has been a feast of pool for all those categories, and today is finals day. This is the final day of the 2018 World Championships, which has been hosted by the English Pool Association, just like it has been over the last 26 years. They have a wonderful structure in place where each year they just seem to be doing it year in, year out without fuss. Tournament Director Alan Benton, and then lots of able assistants that have been with us for many years. Of course, Chairman of the English Pool Association, Mike Perkins. He's also a big player in the administrative side of putting on these world titles. So that was a break from Cormac, and all of a sudden the breaks of there's a red potted, so and reds have been nominated by the looks. No, yellows. Yeah, a red potted off the break, but he's chosen to take yellows. You're able to do that. So as you can see with the little white spotted ball that Kerr broke. So by nominating, and you must nominate of course if you pot a ball off the break, and even if you decide to play the balls that you potted, you must nominate, otherwise it's a foul, and your opponent will come in with 2 shots. So Cormac all of a sudden finds himself 3 frames up in this match, and Jack Smithers hasn't done too much wrong, and the 2 frames that he's won from dishes, which is quite amazing. Cormac very composed, and really took his opportunity well in the previous frame. So he's got this yellow that he's choosing the yellow to the top right hand corner. So all of a sudden he's presented with another possible clearance here. So this yellow runs into the middle, and he'll then possibly run the yellow nearest the cushion down to the bottom left hand corner. He's got himself a bit closer to that shot, and probably play this yellow to the bottom left hand corner and just either stun back to put the yellow into the top left hand pocket, or he might even just slightly run through and put the yellow into the middle pocket, which will give him a nice position for the black into this bottom middle pocket. Let's see how he goes. There we are, that's a cut into the middle pocket, but not too difficult, and he's reasonably close to that black, so and this time Kerr has his own break and dish and takes a 4-frame advantage in this final. He leads 6-2 against Jack Smithers of England in this under 23 individuals final at the 2018 World Championships. Of course, this live stream, it's a WEPF live stream team of Yvonne Armitage, assisted by Stan Grant. Yvonne produces these wonderful live stream. Great picture, various camera shots which allow us to take in all the action close up of how these World Championships have unfolded. So we've been live streaming right from commencement, and more live streaming hours than ever before. This live stream is very handy because we're able to get the picture basically all over the world to anybody who wants to watch the World Championships. And I would actually encourage you to, because a lot of the people watching have an interest because either they know of the games, they have players here, but I would like to put it out there from a marketing point of view for World Pool. Please tell a friend, and tell a friend to tell a friend, because that can be a simple way for us to spread the word about you know, how we love our pool and what a great game it is, because everybody can relate to a game of pool. I've never come across anybody that I've spoken to that doesn't know about pool and getting on a table and having a hit. So yeah, at the moment we're starting to build a really good audience, but a lot of the audience is people that already know about the game, that are related to the game, or have players playing, you know, their relatives that want to watch their nieces or their grandkids or whatever. But the way we can really grow, and a simple way, is please tell a friend. You know, tell them you've been watching the pool on live stream. These days, with technology the way it is, it just seems to be the way to go. So I just thought I'd have that little plug for pool, because it's a wonderful game and we can all relate to it. It's very healthy, and believe it or not, I find that when I've had a good half hour to an hour practice on a pool table, it's really good for the back and stretches the back, and you are actually exercising. Of course, so long as you're not indulging in you know, a good lemonade and snacks while you're doing it. Okay, let's get back to the pool. We've just had a break from Jack Smithers, and no, he's he hasn't been able to dish this time. So Jack's on the yellow balls, Cormac's on the red, as you can see by the screen. So incoming play now should be on the reds, I expect. It should be Cormac. So you're going to try and double this back into the middle pocket. No. Probably sees an opportunity in that bottom left where there's, just see how there's a slight gap. I think he probably thinks that that red can dislodge that yellow which is preventing the other red on the cushion from going into that bottom left hand pocket. So I needed to promote that out of there. So it should be Jack Smithers coming to the table now on yellows, wherever he might be hiding because we can't see him with this camera angle. There we go. So Jack Smithers of England, you can tell by his vest, proudly wearing the England vest while he's playing in his singles. Cormac, he's managed to take a 6-2 lead in this match. Probably a half hour ago I wouldn't have picked that they'd be this far apart at this stage, but that's Paul. Cormac was presented with the opportunities and he's managed to take them. So Jack now's certainly got some work to do to get back into this match. Referee very tentative to make sure that everything is correct. No close touching balls or no double tipping. So Jack's on the yellows. He's got both these two pockets covered, bottom two pockets. So that gives you a bit of an advantage, because your opponent certainly can't pot any balls in those two pockets. Looking at those yellows now, he's probably going to start doing some work on them. He's going to maybe try and take that to the top right hand pocket. It's good effort, but he's left the white on the cushion. Cormac does have that red he could pot into the right middle, but at the moment he was looking. He briefly looked at those two reds that were tied up, but looks like he might take that option. No, he's just playing that red down. So very tactical. I'm not sure what the master plan is in putting that red down here as well. I just would have naturally got rid of it, but I must admit, advanced thinking on the tactical game for me is not my strength. I'm not a great potter either, but I enjoy the game, and that's what it's all about. Encourage people to play, enjoy, and particularly young children. One of the biggest things that I found is the rules of the game, and the etiquette is very good for young players to learn, because it basically teaches you about the basic principles of life as well. And I often tell the story now of my grandchildren playing it at home. And when they started mucking around and trying to put each other off, first thing I taught them was about the rule that we have, which is embedded in our rules, and that is the spirit of the game. And that rule is basically the basic principle of life. Approach everything with the spirit of the game and you can't go wrong. So now every time they think Dad gets a bit grumpy and not doing the right thing by what they expect, they play the spirit of the game card on Dad. Which kind of brings a bit of a chuckle from us. So these players now have got themselves embroiled in a bit of a tactical game here. They're trying to manoeuvre these balls into a way that although I get a bit scared when I see players putting their own balls close to a pocket which has been covered, because for me that starts to reek of a game that's going to take quite a while to unfold. It's difficult to call. But okay, so Jack Smithers on yellows. Is he actually going to pot this ball, or just lay it up? Yeah, I think he just played to lay it up. So Jack has really only got that yellow, which is here on the right hand side of the table. He's got 3 balls over pockets, so the one ball which is not over a pocket, it's a bit awkward to get to. So whether he's waiting for his opponent to dislodge those 2 reds. See, okay, from that view you can see that he could get in from this side cushion. There's a direct route down this bottom cushion to get to that yellow. If he would be game enough to, say, pot that ball over the top right hand corner and bring it, and try and bring it back in line so that you can fit between rail and that red. Let's see if he's going to attempt that now. And he does exactly that, and he's done beautifully. Not only has he done that, he's dislodged that red, he's got close to the yellow that we're talking about, and that's a brilliant shot. So that shows us what Jack Smithers is capable of, and that's why at this stage I'm a little bit surprised that the score is where it is with such a big advantage to Cormac. But to Cormac's credit, when the opportunities were there, he was able to take them very, very quickly. But let's see if Jack can work his way back into this match. He's played a beautiful shot there, and he's forced that a bit. I thought he could just play that softly and not lose his position. So now, if what I'm seeing is correctly, he's just snookered him. Well, not snookered, but he doesn't have a clear pot on that yellow, which causes issues. And I guess this is why. So where's he playing now? He must be able to pot that. Oh yeah, he was able to pot that yellow, and that's a good shot as well, because although it looked easy to pot that yellow over that pocket off that part of the cushion and then come back virtually perfect. So he's certainly managed to make up for that slight loss of position in the previous shot. But now he's very straight on this yellow. I'm going to try and negotiate how he's going to get position on that black. So let's see how he plays it. He's playing with bottom. He's got to try and surely negotiate out to our right. No, he's managed to get straight back through the middle. It's not always easy to screw back accurately, and he's got about as accurate as you could to manage to screw back between those 2 balls, but still hasn't been able to hold his white to get himself a good clean pot on the black. Now I suspect that black goes into that bottom left pocket, close to where the referee was or is. I'm not sure whether it comes into this bottom right pocket. He's played a beautiful cut. That's a great shot by Jack Smithers. That's a big cut into the middle to take the 3rd frame from Cormac Kerr. So the score now in this under 23's individual final is Jack Smithers of England 3, Cormac Kerr 6, here at these 2018 World Championships on finals day. So at the moment the junior final is in progress also. Let's see if we can bring you that score. referee setting up the balls. So it sounds like the juniors match has concluded. So Kerr to break here. So that's a dry break for Cormac. So see if Jack, who's seemed to have found a bit of form in that previous frame. So that was Luke Gilbert of England defeating Carol Galka of Nigeria in the juniors. So back to this match, the under-23s. So it's Jack Smithers at the table at the moment. So he's now on red balls. So Kerr broke, as you can see from the little white spotted ball next to his name, and didn't pot a ball. So it's Jack Smithers now with the opportunity. So he's tried to plant that red to the bottom right hand pocket. So the crowd is starting to gather for this final, and I suspect there's plenty of pull left in this match. Jack Smithers is not going to go down without a fight. So Cormac's playing this very delicately, just promoting that yellow ball in the top right hand corner. Jack Smithers getting down and having a good look. Will he run this red to this bottom left hand pocket, the red that he's in line with? Now he's looking at those two balls on the top left hand corner, and possibly he's just separated those and played a defensive shot and restricted what his opponent can go for. As you can see, his opponent can pretty well only go for those two yellows near the middle pocket, near top middle pocket. So he's coming off this cushion. So that looked like a foul to me. I didn't see, because he's come off the cushion, the white, hit an object ball, and I don't think any of those yellows hit a cushion. I don't think the red that was played into definitely didn't. So if it is, there's an opportunity, but advantage given straight back because incoming player has gone in off. So one mistake leads to another. So the colours are not up yet on the screen, so to help the viewers, they're up now. There we go. So Kerr is on the yellows, Jack Smithers on the red. So I suspect it's Kerr at the table at the moment to deliberately put that yellow right in there to pot it. And he's got two shots, so if if you analyse the table, you'll see that there's only one ball, which is awkward. That's the one touching the red on the top of screen. All the others are potable, and that ball is very close in where the action is, so I'm sure he'll be able to nudge it at some stage to free it up. But right at the moment, he's left himself snookered on that yellow closest to the bottom cushion by the black. So as to pot now, he's really only got a plant, which is this ball that he's aiming at towards that other pocket. Oh, but he's played it perfectly. That's great cueing, and look at the angle that he's got to play that yellow ball into the middle pocket and just nudge the yellow close to the red that we talked about was the only ball on the table which is sort of not potable. But he looks like he's going to play. So he's wanting to play that deliberately out to put it exactly where he wants, and you can see that he's got it straight into this bottom middle pocket. So that's quite clever actually. Rather than just rely on how the balls are going to break out, he knows he's got two shots. He's deliberately played it to a position area, and now he's just relying on his skill to just carry out this elementary, I wouldn't say elementary, but pot out, which is more than capable of doing. That's very smart play for a young player who's just come out of junior ranks. But of course he's come out of junior ranks a world champion, so he's no average under 23 player. And wouldn't it be amazing if he gets these two frames and wins under 18 world champion one year, becomes under 23 world champion the next. It'd be a massive achievement. So Cormac Kerr, playing like a mature veteran, and certainly with that playing with great confidence. So he now has a black to pot in this bottom left hand pocket, and Cormac Kerr takes a 7-3 lead in this world title against Jack Smithers of England. Can Jack Smithers come back? That is the big question. We've certainly seen that the skill is there. Does he have the temperament and the grit to dig in and play how it takes to try and get back into this? He's got the break, and we know that he's had two dishes in this match, but it's a big ask, 4 frames down, with Cormac Kerr only 1 frame to win to become world champion of under 23s. You're watching the 2018 World Championships. So these are it's the World 8-Ball Pool Federation that oversees these championships, and of course they're in England, and the English Pool Association host them and put them on for us. They've been going for 26 years. The World 8-Ball Pool Federation was started and incorporated way back in 1992, when England, Australia and New Zealand decided that that was the way to go for the promotion of pool in the world. And it has been we've got to thank those initial people that came up with that idea, because it's been wonderful for all pool lovers, and I'm sure it's given a lot of joy to a lot of pool players, and a lot of friendships, relationships have been formed through these World Championships. And it's been a great promotion for the game. Brings pool players from around the world together, and it enables them to play against each other and test themselves against their elite peers. So Jack Smithers will be looking for one of his best breaks, and he has potted a red ball. He's potted a red. Only the one ball potted. Will he stay on reds, or will he take yellows? He has the option to nominate which. In fact, he must nominate. in order to keep going. If he nominates reds and pots or doesn't pot, he will stay on reds if he hits a red ball. If he nominates yellows and doesn't pot, then it becomes an open table. So he's nominated the reds obviously because he's going for one. He's potted. He is on reds and the incoming opponent will be on yellows. Now it's just got one awkward red, which is that one closest to the yellow on the right of screen, top right of screen, near the top right hand pocket. And the rest are all potable. So we saw how Cormac went about clearing the balls in the last frame, but of course Cormac did have 2 shots. So Jack Smithers, the pressure would be building on it. Well, the pressure is there because he knows that if he loses another frame, that's the end for 2018. He'll have to. We'll congratulate him for making the final, but he'll receive the runner-up prize. And of course, he's come so close to a world title. He would love to be able to fight back in this match and win the world title. So he's playing against a former junior, in fact, junior world champion of 2017. So he's going well in this break. So he's going to pot this red into the middle pocket, closest middle pocket. I'd say probably stun out. I'll be interested to see how he plays this. Because for me it's not, certainly not a straightforward shot. He's got a, I think he'll try and stun past these yellows, maybe even try and break into the yellow and red. Seems to be queuing through the middle of the white. Does exactly that. That's a beautiful shot. That's a great shot. Great composure to be able to play that shot under the sort of pressure that if you don't pot out here, it could be the end of the penny section for the championship for you. Jack Smithers showing great maturity as a player, but his opponents just managed to just get a few more opportunities than what he has and take them. He hasn't done a lot wrong. So now he's got, it's a bit hard to tell how, I think he's got the angle to come across for the black. Again, I just wonder whether he'll be just stunning across and using the natural angle. It's a nice shot, and he's left himself on a black in this bottom right hand pocket. So I'm very much enjoying this match. In some ways I'd like to see Jack still get some more frames out of the match. And that's Jack Smithers winning his 4th frame and getting just a little bit closer to Cormac Kerr, who was knocking on the door to a world title. So this match is delicately poised in the fact that Cormac is wanting to just win one more frame. We're playing best of 15, so it's a race to 8, and that's how we calculate that Cormac Kerr only needs one more frame for the world title, whereas Jack Smithers has still got a lot of work to do. He needs to win 3 straight frames just to catch up and play the decider. So we're at the 2018 World Championships on finals day. This is the last day for 2018 of these World 8-Ball Pool Federation Championships. Been a great success. We'll sit back and analyse whether we think the new format has been good, and whether it's been good for the players, whether it's been good from an atmosphere point of view, whether we need to make slight changes for next year. So referee's been very efficient in racking up the balls. So referee's been John Chapman for this match. Collects all his items, hands the ball over to Kerr, who I'm sure in the back of his mind he would love to break here and go game, put his hands up and salute as a world champion. The balls are broken, the balls are all still on the table, so it was a dry break. But these players are certainly getting a... I've only seen one frame where there wasn't much reaction from the balls, or there was a cluster of balls in one section of the table, and that turned out to be the longest frame of the match. But even if they're not potting a ball, they're just sending the balls crazy. And normally if you've got a dry break, the incoming player has got an opportunity to go game, and of course that's the tonic that Jack Smithers needs here, and he's been given an opportunity to take a frame off his opponent's break. And then of course in these situations, if you can take this frame, then you come in and break, and we know that Jack Smithers has dished twice in this match. So let's see what Jack Smithers can do. It's very it doesn't look very tense for a player that's can't afford to lose another frame. Of course, getting tense is not going to help anybody. Doesn't matter what position you're in. As sportsman, you need to keep your cool, because as soon as the nerves start cutting in, particularly in a sport like 8-ball, and you start to tense up, that's when your smooth cueing action starts to lose its rhythm, and mistakes start to set in. Of course, these younger players seem to play with no fear these days. And I guess the secret is for the older players to try to stay that way. But sports psychology is a big industry, particularly in the higher profile sports. But I'm sure and cue sports would be one of those sports, because it's very important to be mentally attuned for this game, and being able to keep your body relaxed and not allow the situation to affect your mental state. You need to stay relaxed and with it to be able to keep that smooth cueing action. And of course, there's so many things to remember when you're down and cueing, and you know, not to come up too soon, and smooth cueing action, not to tighten as you're cueing, the stance, remember to take the correct stance. I'm not sure whether he liked that kick on the black. So Jack Smithers is still going. Remember, this is an opportunity given to him by his opponent off the break, where Cormac broke and left yellows on. Yeah, so we still don't have the colours up. Jack Smithers is on these yellows because they were presented to him by Cormac, who broke the balls. So he's missed that pot. So that opportunity is now no longer there. And it's probably that just slight kick on the black that he lost position which has caused that. And even if he had potted that yellow, you can see where the white's finished as well, where his next pot was going to be fairly difficult as well. So this gives Cormac the opportunity. I'd say he'd be simply thinking, what I've got to do is pot out like you normally have to. You're trying not to think that pot out here gives him the world title. In fact, he's not trying to rush the game and win in a hurry. He sees a defensive shot to be played, so he's actually played it. He feels that that's what increases the probability of winning this match for him if he can get 2 shots. He had all those 3 reds all lined up in a row and didn't like the idea of playing a plant. You've got that red close to the yellow here at the bottom end of the table, which restricts the number of pockets that red goes into. Okay, so he's managed to play out of that snooker and make sure his opponent only gets 1 shot. So at the moment he would be able to put that red closest to yellow to this bottom right hand pocket if he so chooses. There's a good look at the table. Runs in behind and plays a similar shot. He's snookered again, only now it starts to get a little bit more difficult. So Jack has a good look. He's having a good look whether he can play a really good defensive deliberate foul, but at the moment he's in a really difficult position, and that's what can happen when you sort of go for a pot out and you finish up missing. You've only got 1 or 2 balls left and your opponent's still got nearly all of their balls left. It means that there's a lot of balls that your opponent can hide behind, and you can find yourself continuously having to play out of hard situations, which is what is happening here for Jack. And he's fouled this time. He's given Cormac Kerr 2 shots. Cormac Kerr only needs 1 more frame to become world champion under 23s individual, after only last year winning the world championships of the junior in the junior division. So he's having a look at the plant to play that red onto the red into this bottom right hand pocket. It's a nice shot. Nice shot, and I hope you're enjoying it, viewers, from wherever you're watching around the world. Under 23s individual final. This could be coming to the concluding stages of this match. Cormac Kerr at the moment at the table. Can play a plant on those three balls. Plays that front ball onto the one nearest the pocket, and the one nearest the pocket should go. I'm sure that's disappeared. Yeah, there's only 2 there now. So now I can just pick them off like cherries, so to speak. Now he got a very easy red over that top right hand pocket. He'll leave himself a slight angle to pot that last ball down the rail into the bottom left hand pocket and come out to the black, which is in the middle of the table. So the 2018 World Championships under 23s individual final. Is it coming to a close? Cormac Kerr lines himself up on the black to the bottom right hand pocket. Cormac Kerr, 2018 under 23 world champion. He's just defeated Jack Smithers 8-4. Jack Smithers, of course, from England. Cormac Kerr from Ireland. Congratulations, Cormac Kerr, and commiserations, but also congratulations to Jack. It's a great feat, great achievement to achieve a final of a World Championships here at the World 8-Ball Pool Federation World Titles. So that's it for now from the Imperial Hotel here in Blackpool in England. We're going to take a break. It won't be long before the next match comes on, which will be I'll just get the next match for you, which will be the men's team event, which was scheduled to already start, so that'll be starting very shortly. So viewers, wherever you've been watching, it's been wonderful to bring this to you, and it's been a pleasure to commentate the match for you. Cheerio from Joe Fanto from the 2018 World Championships, but stay tuned.